Come on, come on, come on. 2018. 2018. It's coming out in 2018. Now, with almost 40 games released since Spider-Man's debut on the Atari 2600 in 1982, it's clear that he's a big deal in gaming. And with Insomniac's new game about Spider-Man coming out, I figured what better time to go in and dive into the history and see how we got here. Now, in this video, I'm only going to be briefly going over it because honestly, that's a lot of games, and it's quite a deep dive. If you want me to take a deeper dive, leave a comment in the comments down below, and let me know, and oh, I'll go there. But it's going to be quite a journey. So anyway, we start off back to 1982 when Parker Brothers released Spider-Man on the 2600. We can see it here. Well, it looks like a 2600 game, you know? You got your Green Goblin, you got your Spider-Man, the whole thing. Now, it wasn't until around 1989, there were a couple other games in there, but around 1989 is when Sega released their game on the Sega system. Now, he's playing on CD there. He did appear in 89 in Revenge of Shinobi as just like a boss, a little character. Now, it wasn't until 1990 that we then see Spider-Man coming out in quite a few Sega games, actually leading almost up until 2000 when the acquisition of Activision comes into play. So we have quite a few Spider-Man games coming out here, but what we also had was a company called LJN. Now, they were defunct in 1995, but they also produced quite a few Spider-Man games as well, and they did the multi-platform games. So for the most part, it was Sega doing the games that came out on their system, so they were publishing those games, and then LJN was doing the multi-platform stuff that came out. And honestly, for me, you know, there may be some gems in here, there may be some fun stuff, but it didn't really hit until the classic 2002 Spider-Man. Now, that brings us up all the way to the year 2000, when Spider-Man becomes kind of a more popular character, which was really brought into play by the 2002 release of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Now, that shot the series into a whole new light. Now, it started off with some of the Activision taking it over in 2000, getting the contract that led right up to 2014. Now, they got involved, and I'm just reading my notes here. Anyway, so this kicked off the partnership right up to 2014, and it's obvious that the 2002 Spider-Man movie escalated it. Now, you know, there was tie-in movies and things like that happened, but it wasn't really until the 2004 Spider-Man 2, developed by Treyarch, in my opinion, the best Call of Duty developer. Now, we can see the game behind me here, and the thing that was awesome about this is it gives you that sense that you are Spider-Man. You're slinging your web through the city. You're flying around. You're attacking people. Well, bad guys, but you know what I mean. You're basically, you get to be freaking Spider-Man, and traversal is awesome. You're climbing around on walls, doing the whole thing, and it seems like Insomniac is kind of hearkening back a little bit to that, and I hope that we get something in that vein. Now, Activision dealt with Spider-Man for quite a long time, and it wasn't until, and they even survived the disappearance or destruction of the Sam Raimi universe back with terrible Spider-Man 3, really bad. And you know, we then ended up getting the Amazing Spider-Man movies with Garfield in it, and you know, those were okay. But the mistakes really started to happen back in 2010 when Activision announced that Beanox was going to making the Spider-Man games exclusively, and they were going to be pumping those things out every single year. Now, I should note that there were a couple Gameloft games that came out on mobile devices, but I'm not really counting those. But anyway, so Beanox, you know, Shattered Dimensions was pretty good. They came out, and then it just kind of keeps going on from there, you know. So then you have Edge of Time, then you have Amazing Spider-Man, and they're having to pump these things out every year, and it's clear that they were being rushed at the door because they were buggy, they were not a lot of fun, and it wasn't a good experience, and it was really just oversaturating the market with too much Spider-Man. And it was with the 2014 Amazing Spider-Man 2 that, you know, it wasn't that bad, but to me it felt like the nail in the coffin, and I thought we weren't going to see any more. That is until Insomniac steps into the picture. Now, at the 2016 PlayStation E3 conference, we got this beauty of a trailer, and it's exactly what you want. It's a studio that is well known for making big, bombastic action environments. I mean, they made Sunset Overdrive, and they've also made the Ratchet games for years, where traversal is a lot of fun. But Sunset Overdrive is basically a third-person shoot-'em-up with Tony Hawk traversal. What about that just, like, freaking Spider-Man, man? Like, come on. That's so good. That'd be like Sucker Punch getting a Spider-Man game, you know? Like, it fits so perfectly. And with Disney taking such a stance on wanting to get their properties in good games, this seems like a step in the right direction with Sony leading the helm here. So I can only hope that the Spider-Man franchise is going to get the love and care that it deserves to continue to be awesome and to give us that nostalgic feeling back to the 2004 Spider-Man that I love so much, developed by Treyarch. And you know what? I think we're going to get there. This is a year of dreams, folks. So anyway, this is just my little breakdown on the history of Spider-Man in video games. If you want to see more, let me know. Shoot it off down in the comments. And if you like this kind of content, you know, it's very casual, conversational. Let's keep the conversation going with each other. You know, be sure to subscribe. You can catch the podcast that comes out every Wednesday, and we have a Let's Play that comes out every single Friday, and another kind of video like this that comes out every Monday. Anyway, I've been Nathan. You guys have been great, and I'm just going to anxiously await our favorite web slinger. Okay, guys, bye.